Alrighty, guys, we're back. We're here. Thank you for showing. Buenos días, buenas noches, buenas tardes, la hora que sea. Bienvenido a otro episodio más de What the Peg. Acompáñenos. Es tiempo de relajarse. It's time to take a little step back and relax and just listen. And we're gonna share some stories about a little bit about sustainability and some local talent. I'm really happy that we were able to get our friend over to share some stories and where everything is started and where it is going. We're here at What the Peg. Remember, sustainability speaks louder, and we're here. Thank you so much for coming. We have Katie from Berry Cup. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
So yeah, we're here. Thank you for coming on the podcast. Before I forget, our friend Sophie.
Hola.
Nuestro amigo Sophie. Y mi compadre Rafita.
¿Cómo están, amigos?
So, I don't know if you knew about so Katie, thank you again for coming.
Mm-hmm.
She's drinking some water, so she's going to relax with some water. I hope everybody at home can grab a little cup of coffee, whatever it may be, and just relax, enjoy whatever you're doing, and just what we usually do is we try to wrap what we do here locally in Laredo, our daily lives, to how we can do it more sustainable. So I'm excited to see. I've heard a lot about Berry Cup, and I see that you're kind of an influencer here in Laredo. So it's pretty cool to meet somebody that has a big audience. So Berry Cup. So how did it start? You're born and raised here in Laredo.
Yes, correct.
Right? And you were, what high school did you go to?
I went to United High School, but I wasn't raised on this side of town always.
Okay.
I went to Linedecker Elementary, and then I went to Kristen Middle too. So I moved, my parents bought a house, and I attended United for my high school years.
So United High School, Mighty Longhorns,
Sure.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, did you go to Magnet School there? Or
No, I didn't do Magnet.
Okay. So you went and did so you graduated from there. What class did you graduate?
I graduated class of 2020, so the pandemic year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's interesting. So you finished high school during COVID?
Yes.
So how was that last year? I've never really
Yeah.
talked to anybody about.
We're not that many, but yeah, it was actually a very different experience than what I've seen on TVs and spoken to friends about with the whole prom and senior breakfast and things like that. I didn't really get to experience that, but I honestly don't regret it either. It was a time where I feel like everyone came together as a community during COVID.
Yeah.
My class too, I feel like we all came together to kind of see the goodness in a pandemic. But yeah, it was spring break, and we'll see you in a week, and then we'll see you in 2 weeks, and we'll never see you again. But
and good luck. So that's crazy. So you went. So it all started during the spring break, and they're like, okay, we're not going back to school. And then school's out for how long?
It was just the week of spring break, and then I think they extended it another week, if I'm not mistaken. And then it was just kind of I don't
stay
think we're
home.
going. Yeah, stay home, quarantine, don't go out if you don't have to.
And that's your senior year.
Yeah, that's my senior year.
So no, like you said, no prom, no senior week.
Senior breakfast. Luckily, we got to experience first semester together. So we did have senior week. We did have homecoming. I ran for homecoming.
Nice.
Yeah, so it was a good chunk of it, but I'm kind of missing the end of it.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because it's crazy how everything comes all around, comes back to you. My brother's graduating this year from United.
Okay.
And I have no advice to give him for his second semester.
So he's like, how's prom? And
Yeah, how do I apply for a cap and gown? I was like, I don't know. I'm the wrong person to tell. Yeah.
Dude, that is crazy. And then how did you end your senior year?
I think, if I'm not mistaken, we ended senior year by graduating at a football field at the Unit Trade, if I'm not. Yeah, I think the
at
uni
the
train.
stadium.
Yeah, but that was it. It was kind of like an unexpected, kind of like if you go to work and you're like, oh, okay, I'll give you your $20 on Monday when I see you, and you're just like, oh, well, I guess I keep those $20. I never saw you again.
But
Yeah.
and classes, how were classes though?
They were very difficult, to be honest. We didn't have much of a transition or an introduction to like online learning, so it was difficult. I was in the Golds program and HBO1 program, so it's a dual enrollment with the Laredo College.
Okay.
So it was difficult to not only do high school online, but to do college online as well. So
Oh
it was
shoot.
yeah.
So it was just like, hey, ready or not, here you go. You got to
Yeah.
do everything online, and then figure it out.
And then COVID ends and you're 20 and you're like, what happened?
It's like
Yeah.
that is crazy. I never. Thank you for sharing that because that's
Yeah, of
interesting.
course.
Because I've never met anybody that had gone through that phase.
situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, usually for us, it was just like, social distancing and, if somebody got COVID, stay home.
Mm-hmm.
So then you finish high school, and then is that when Berry Cup kind of like was beginning?
I opened Berry Cup during COVID. The only reason I felt like I needed to open something was because TAMU is quite expensive.
Okay.
So I was like, I need something to help me pay for school. And I've been selling strawberries and cream since I was in middle school. I was like, so people already know the recipe. I was like, I might as well open a little something and save money for school. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened.
Okay.
Qué padre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you went from so you were like, okay, it's time to go to college
Yes.
now. Even though it's online, it's probably even more expensive nowadays. And you were like, okay, well, I need to, kind of boost what I was already doing.
Yes.
And put a name to it and open it up and share it and become more public about it and boost it to pay your
To pay my
college.
tuition. Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome.
I felt like the responsibility of like the oldest daughter to set an example for my siblings, like mami, papi, no te van a dar todo. So
Yeah.
you kind of have to put yourself to work and pay for school. And luckily, I've always had my parents' support with Berry Cup, and I'm debt free from TAMU.
Nice.
Nice.
Congrats.
Padre.
Salud.
Thank you.
Wait, so you haven't graduated yet, right?
No, I graduate May 10th.
Okay, May 10th. Nice. And everything's been. Did you transition back into, like face to face or whatever you want to call it? Like,
Yeah,
Okay.
it was a little weird. So it's just like one day to the next, they're like, you know what? I guess COVID's not that serious. Let's go back to school. And I was like, okay. So then from there, we just started slowly going back to school. Everyone was still wearing like their masks at TAMU. And then as time passed and like we kind of saw like the statistics and the numbers go down, I feel like everyone came back
nice.
to normal.
That's awesome. So you went from being like one spring break, senior year in high school, and not being able to go back to school and see anyone and be able to have like your classmates in one place to now fast forward, you're back, but now it's college and
Yeah, it's no joke.
yeah,
it's
that's
not
awesome.
it's not a trial anymore. It's like the real deal.
That's cool. Congrats. And I think that's kind of like I don't know. I see it like as an inspiration. Like you're setting an example for a lot of us, to like, hey, dude, if you're good at something, got to share it, and you make some tuition money on it. So that's awesome. Congrats.
Thank you.
And then, by the way, people know you as Katie.
Yes, that's my real name.
So it's not Berry Cup.
It's not Berry Cup. It's Katie. Yeah.
So Katie. So everybody out at home, Berry Cup is Katie. So Katie, then it started kicking off. Like, when did you start your Instagram? Because I see you have a lot of I mean, for me, it's a lot of followers, especially on Instagram. It's 15. Oh, you're almost at 15K. So how did you like? What advice would you have for somebody that's trying to like, go through the motions or
Like trying to open
yeah,
a
trying
small
to
business.
something where they can, share and make it fun and I don't know.
I feel like my biggest advice since I opened Berry Cup with just one product, it was for a variety, it was just one product and I was confident in a family recipe. I just le digas.
Yeah.
I was just like, this is what I have to do. So my advice would be, if you're confident about a product that you have and you feel like you can move mountains with it, I mean, by all means, then you can. Like, you're your own person that can stop you from doing what you want to do. So that would be my advice as far as like internally and confidently. But
So do it confidently,
yeah.
and then be consistent about it. And the good thing, well, one thing that what I'm getting out of it is that you're saying that like you should maybe focus on one good, like if you're good at
Yeah.
one thing, promote that one thing.
Yeah, like if you're good at one thing and you know that, you know what, I have a good product, I trust in my product, I can do this. Like I can move Laredo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you feel like you've touched a lot of families here in like Laredo?
I do. I am very appreciative for all my customers that have become like family to me. I've read some amazing stories like through text that they send me that, oh, like you're the reason why I go to school and I dip berries, or like you're the reason
Yeah.
why I opened something and I still felt confident enough to pursue education. And I'm like, that's the whole point of Berry Cup. It's kind of to show you that if you're confident in something, go for it, but don't give up on other things either.
Yeah.
You can definitely multitask as long as you manage your time correctly, but it's very, very capable running a business and pursuing a college degree.
Especially if you're having fun.
Exactly.
I think berries and cream,
Yeah.
can it be stressful at times?
It can be. The only
Yeah.
reason why I feel like it's a little stressful is because the strawberries and cream, I kind of like to call it, it's like a delicacy.
Okay.
It's not like a tres leches or a cake that you can make overnight and, oh, you can pick up the following day. No, like I tell my customers, like when you pick it up, I give you maybe about a 3-hour window to eat it before the consistency starts to change and it's not the product that I sold you. You know what I mean? So I think Berry Cup got really, it came up really quickly because of the consistency of the cream. It's something very different here in Laredo.
So where did you get that recipe? It was like from your mom?
So actually my dad,
Oh, your dad?
my dad is a huge person in the kitchen. So I think I was in elementary when he started making the strawberries and cream recipe, and he was like, can you taste this? Can you taste this? Can you taste this? And I was like, I don't want to taste it anymore. But luckily I did. I stuck to it, and it has helped me a lot in the long run. So it was my dad. He's the CEO of the recipe. I just move it.
Nice. So how did you? So the whole you say, what would you call that? Like, not shelf life, but how much time you can leave it on the table?
Yeah.
What is it called?
Yeah, shelf life.
Okay, shelf life.
Shelf life, but like,
Or lead time.
or
What is
how long you can leave it on the counter?
Yeah, I kind of don't recommend going over the day. So if you're gonna
Okay.
buy it per se at 12, like I would recommend to eat it before 4 or before 5. I don't recommend to freeze it either. It's not supposed to be frozen, but I mean, there's customers who freeze them. Oh, it's
Yeah.
because she's closed on Sundays. I'm gonna freeze it on Saturday, so I can eat it on Monday and things
Monday.
like that. So yeah, but the cream itself lasts 3 days without getting mixed in with the strawberries. The strawberries release was the liquid that they have, and that's what kind of makes the cream kind of watery.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone has their preference, but we've noticed that we were able to be distinguished with our cream because of its thick consistency.
Nice. That's awesome. So
Se me antojaron.
really, I think next time we talk,
Yeah, I'll bring
we
you
need to
some.
eat some. Have you ever made berries and cream?
Yes, I have.
Because he's a chef.
Oh.
He
Yeah.
just doesn't look like one.
I
Well,
bet, what's your recipe?
For berries and cream. No, pero pues, yeah, it's fun that you started, like you said, pues, you know, that one time you mentioned it, like, during the hard times is when most of the best businesses, like, flourish.
Dude, and that's awesome because what people that can make it during those times are the ones that are probably you're stronger than a lot of businesses that were brought up during the easy times.
Yeah, I feel like it's a bad stigma that they have on small businesses that are like, oh, you only opened because you were bored at home. And no, I feel like a lot of people found their creativity during the COVID, during the pandemic, and they were able to succeed like past it. It was a lot of time for self-reflections too.
Yeah, you didn't because a lot of people were, I mean, there was a lot of things that, a lot of people that also didn't see it as something good, and you made something good out of, like not so
Tough
good
time.
situation. Yeah, a tough time. So congrats on that, and cheers.
Thank you.
So you said you had the recipe since, or you knew how to cook, or I guess prepare your recipe since you were 11?
Yeah,
Or-
since I was in middle school,
oh,
fifth
nice.
grade. Yeah, that's when my dad made it. And then in middle school, if anybody hears this and they went to middle school with me, they know exactly what I'm talking about. I feel like I've always been some type of like entrepreneur. I would take a duffel bag to school and
Oh,
I would
shit.
stack it with like 12-ounce cups of fresas con crema. And
Yeah.
I would post on Facebook like, hey, if you're gonna want a cup, meet me in the band hall. And all in the morning, I would sell out really quickly. I never had any by like first block. It was always before school hours. Like not sell in school, but it would
Yeah.
always finish before school
Even though
hours.
teachers were there buying.
No, seriously. But I mean,
you shouldn't be doing this, right?
no, really. So yeah, it's been a quite a journey.
Yeah, that's awesome. I can't get over it because that's exciting to see somebody that is doing good and something so fun. I think berries and cream are. I mean, what more, I can't find anything more fun, I guess, that you could be doing during the pandemic at home, and then I think that brings joy to people. So we were just thinking about like how that's kind of like therapeutic too.
Yes.
I don't know if that's like a thing, but you can kind of, I can imagine families during the pandemic, like, y unas fresitas con crema de berry
Qué
cup,
rico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then just relaxing, and it makes the whole situation way better.
Yeah.
Or if somebody's like having a hard time or sick or whatever, and then berry cup comes along and makes it so much better.
Yeah, I think that's like something I enjoy a lot about Berry Cup is the joy that it brings to people. I've had conversations with, oh, I'm 5 months pregnant and I can't, I need, and I'm like, it's 1 a.m, but I got you tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like women who are pregnant, they've texted me like, oh, about strawberries and cream, or I have family from out of town that's coming and they only come to Laredo to see us and to get berries and cream. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I met a lot of people during having a berry cup open.
That's awesome. Any advice?
Yeah.
Life advice?
For me.
Because you had like a food truck. Is there any
Yeah.
plans on opening like a whole like I don't know if a brick and mortar, or do you like being at home?
I do have plans. This is what I was talking to my boyfriend the other day we were talking about like opening something, but I feel like everything has its time. So one thing at a time. I'm focusing on graduation right now.
Okay.
So one thing I do admire about my customers is that they all know, oh, like Berry Cup's graduating in May. Like everything we've been, I mean, I guess not donating, but buying from her, like it's paying off. Like so, it's like just like a big round of
Oh,
applause
shoot.
to everyone. Yeah, because it's kind of like the whole motive for Berry Cup. People
Yeah.
know that I'm in school, and
It's paying for that.
yeah, I've heard the whole "I rather buy from you so you can graduate than someone else."
Than
You know what I
HEB or
mean? The
whatever.
cause, yeah,
Yeah.
That's great.
Dude, that does. That
That's
has
a
a
great
purpose
community.
behind it.
yeah.
You see, Laredo does support it.
It does, which is why I like to purchase things locally, like what are they called, La Dulcerias, Print Express, things like that, Sam's, HEB. I'm always buying here in town. In fact, we went to La Quinta and Lovely Eats. They're a small business too. They sell like little like gluten-free brownies too, and we're like, oh, I'm gonna get them because they're a small business here in Laredo.
So you feel like because you're a small business
Yeah.
and locally, the support that you've seen from other people, how impactful that is for you, that you feel like that you make a difference by
Yeah, definitely.
helping them out.
I think if it wasn't because of the people from Laredo, I would not be able to get out of college debt free. They're just some very kind-hearted people here who they'll be like, oh, the cup is $5, don't worry, I'll give you 15 because I know that it goes to your school. Yeah,
Aw.
like Laredo people are they're very nice. I genuinely appreciate all the support that they have given me through this time, which is also like a motivation to finish school. Like
Yeah, and bring
Not- yeah.
and then bring even more of the Berry Cup love
Yeah.
to everybody.
yeah, so
This is awesome. I'm so excited, and I love where the conversation is going. I feel like I have a lot of questions of what like the future holds for Berry Cup, and the whole like what happens after graduating.
Yeah, I have things up my sleeve in the future. But like I said, I would like to graduate first before I announce any other things that I have planned. I'm very like particular on like not trying to lead people on too.
No,
so.
and it's good. One thing that if I could give advice, not like I'm like the business guru or whatever, but something that has always worked for us is that you let demand drive your supply. So don't bring all this supply brick and mortar and like expect that, forecast, that you're gonna have all this demand and it's gonna be a success. Because then you can have all this supply and nobody doesn't pay you off, and now you have to pay rent, you have to pay, the employees or whatever you may have. And one thing that I would say is let demand drive your supply.
For sure.
In case you ever take economics, or if you still have oh no, you're already gonna finish.
Yeah, I only have 2 classes.
Okay. So one thing that's taught me, economics, I guess, let demand drive supply.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I feel like I give little businesses advice here and there as far as like menu and creating a menu. I just kind of tell them like, don't go throwing strawberries and cream, y que dulces, enchilados, y que aguas. Like stick to one thing. Get known for one thing, and then slowly start building yourself. Because if you throw a little bit of everything everywhere, it's hard for people to grasp like, what is your specialty? What do you mean? Why am I coming to you? What I mean?
Like berries and cream became a snack place.
Yes.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's awesome. It makes sense. It makes sense that like if you're gonna do something, focus on one thing, and provide a good experience. ¿Y te gustan las fresas con crema?
A mí me encantan las fresas.
¿Y
es mi fruta
no las has
favorita.
probado?
No, no las he probado.
No.
Pero te iba a preguntar cómo manejas, o sea, dónde compras las fresas para que te salga ganancia.
Well, I like to buy them at Sam's.
Okay.
I think Sam's they have really good prices there, and they carry quality berries. So sometimes I'll go to H-E-B and I'm like, oh, they're nice, but they're not Driscoll berries. You know what I mean? So Driscoll berries, I feel like that's a really, really good brand of strawberries.
Yeah.
So I tend to go to Sam's, and like on big days like Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, I like to buy wholesale.
Okay.
That's awesome.
¿Y de dónde las consigues?
From R&C Produce.
Okay.
Yeah, they're a really big company too, but highly recommend Sam's.
Okay.
Nice.
For also great shaped berries, like not even like they're like really good looking berries.
Okay.
Yeah, Betty, you're like a berry expert.
Like, and I'm gonna be very honest with you. I didn't like. It's very rare when I eat my own product, but you get used to it and you know what to pick up on, like when picking fruit. It's funny.
Is it true? Like if you want to know if the berries are good, like you shake the box, and if it gives off this smell of like fresh. I don't know.
No, I think that means they're not good.
Oh, really?
Because sometimes the strawberries at the bottom, they get kind of like watery and mushy. So they have like a stronger odor because they're open. You know what I mean?
So then that means it makes more sense if you shake them and they don't perspire, or like they don't give off a smell.
Or just like flip the that's
box.
Yeah, shaking them. That's the deal. What's it called? Before we continue, I wanna take a little quick break. Here at What the Peg. Remember, we're trying to, this whole, I guess, season is where we're trying to invite local people and make it about Laredo and how we're, things like this that like, you can find awesome stories on, how to be, providing, something nice to the community and bringing joy. And I think at the end of the day, it helps, many families come together, and it's good to share with like something that makes you happy. And it has a purpose also for, paying off, I guess, greater education, right? So before we continue, I want to invite everybody to stay tuned. We're going to take a quick break, a quick refill, un refill de voladita. Échense, le vamos a dar tiempecito para que vayan por un cafecito, un agua de lo que sea, y regresemos, una cervecita. Entonces, remember, What the Peg, we'll be right back. Okay, guys, welcome back. We're back here at What the Peg, and we're excited again. Thank you for staying tuned and just taking this little break to do a little refill. Espero que se hayan servido o hayan hecho un refill y sigan acompañándonos. Y pues tenemos muy buena invitada. Se llama Katie. Es de it's berry cup. No, I was gonna say berries and cream, but no. It's berry cup that offers berries and cream. So I don't know if you guys, we've had a lot of good conversations, and one thing that I started thinking is, one of the questions is like, dude, Katie, has there ever been a situation where you feel like it was like you mentioned right now, there's sometimes where they tell you like, hey, your berries and cream helped my, a nice story that you could share for that you've seen that support or that's made it's brought joy to the community or something that you can think of.
I feel like I can't pinpoint one. The Laredo community has been so good to Berry Cup, but I know that we have held a lot of gender reveals for mommies who are becoming moms. So we basically dip the berry in the color of the gender, whether it's pink or blue, and then we cover it with like either a white or a dark chocolate. So when they bite it, they can find out together like, oh, what the gender of the baby is. So I think that's something so cute that Berry Cup has provided for them.
Nice.
Something else that I think brings me joy is honestly a lot of my audience, yes, they are females, but on Valentine's Day specifically, it's a lot of men.
Yeah.
There's a lot of men, can I get this, can I get this? And I think one thing that I admire that they gather their words very well, and they're like, thank you for having this shop, like I can find berries and floral arrangements here. So a lot of people are very grateful that I do have a variety of options.
Florals now
Yeah,
too.
I do florals too.
Yeah, and that's timing because it takes. I don't think people realize. They might just be like, oh, that's so cute, berries and creams and floral arrangements, but they don't probably realize the hard work that it goes behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Like as I mentioned earlier, I'm like, people don't realize the hurdles sometimes you have to overcome and learning curves you have to like, go over.
Adjust to.
Yeah, and adapt to changes because I'm sure there's been like, hey, I can't fulfill. There's no berries, or they ran out of this or ran out of that, and having to like overcome all that. Has there ever been a situation where, like, was there a big learning curve like hey, it's a Valentine's and I can't meet all the orders?
Yeah, it's super funny that you bring that up. I remember last Valentine's Day, not this one, but the one before, I called my boyfriend crying because it was the worst Valentine's Day ever. It was even snowing in Laredo on Valentine's Day. It was so crazy. So we went to R&C Produce to go and buy strawberries, right? And I told my dad, I was like, hey, I don't think we should buy every single thing that we need because I'm pretty sure there's other people buying strawberries too, right? I didn't want to hog everything. So I was like, that's fine. We buy the strawberries, and we get home, and I'm dipping, right? And I'm like, okay, it's already going to be 5 a.m. Like, hey, can you go buy the rest of the berries? Like, I'm good. I need the other batch. My dad buys them, comes back, and all the strawberries, unfortunately, had worms in them. So I could not fulfill the other 30, 40 orders that I had. And it was raining, it was snowing, so it was a really bad experience, and I was crying so much. I was like, this is not what Berry Cup represents, but I also couldn't just be picking and choosing from a box of berries that has worms. Oh, which one doesn't and which one does? I was like, no. I'd rather them not receive anything than not receive quality work from Berry Cup. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that is something that I did go through, and it's.
I mean, you learned from it.
Yeah, I did. Hog all the berries. No,
right?
I'm kidding. No.
Well, like prepare in advance.
Yeah, I did. I had to prepare in advance for that, and it was just very disappointing. I was very excited to fulfill everyone's orders. I think I had about 90, and I wasn't able to fulfill about 30 orders.
Dang.
Yeah, and
I mean, but it served as a learning experience,
Most
adapting to things like, hey, you got to watch out. Make sure, Dad, can you check the berries before you bring them home? I don't know if there's. Might not be possible, right? But until you get home, but yeah, no, that is sad. I've been through some situations where it's like everything is going wrong when you have like to meet a deadline.
Yep.
But sometimes like, and how did the customers take it?
They took it very well, to be honest. I feel like because I've always provided quality work before this incident happened. They understood that if I was unable to provide, they knew exactly why. They knew that she's not providing because she knows that she could have done better, or she knows that she could have given us a better box or better chocolate covered strawberries. So they took it very well. I refunded everyone, but it was so like. But I mean, that's with any business. I feel like there's learning in every single thing that you do, whether it's your fault or you learn off your customers. This is at the very beginning of Berry Cup, I've had customers that they'd say, hey, I'm going to buy you, for example, 5 cups. Oh, yeah, for sure. I make them, and it's, oh, I can't go. And I'm like, oh, well, I kind of had the cups ready. You didn't pay. So there's a lot of learning when it comes to a business, as far as you and like your customers.
Yeah, because you're losing out. Like, now what do I do with these 5 cups?
Exactly.
And it's like, well, now you have to implement policies.
That's where policies come in.
And it's like, I'm sorry, dude. Like, I don't mean to do this, but I have to like stay in business, basically.
Yeah. And it's also all the way you communicate with people. That's a big factor. Like, if they tell you, hey, I can't make it, and they didn't pay, like, things could be genuinely happening with them. So, you know what? Like, it's okay. Like, don't worry about it. But that's why policies are, like, in play as well. Yeah. So, yeah, it's a big learning experience. But, again, like, the people of Laredo are very, very good. I mean, I know there's a stigmatism on people not being prompt, but for the most part, people in Laredo, they can be very, very prompt.
That's good. Yeah, there is like the Laredo time.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's something that for me it's been hard to adjust to, or you become, I guess, used to that, where like it's okay to be late, and because I've lived in other cities where it's like disrespectful and like not to be early and stuff like that, and people might take it wrong.
I've messed around with my parents. Like, if I ever get married, my wedding invitation is gonna be custom. I'm gonna put a different time for you guys. I'm gonna put it like 2 hours before, so you can get there on time.
And it's like, what? You're actually on time. Congrats.
Yeah, it's like be there at 7, and they're getting ready at 7.
Yeah.
Entonces, tus papás en tu casa te ayudan.
Yes, my parents are a big help. Berry Cup actually started, since it started in the pandemic, I couldn't drive yet. So my mom would help me deliver all the orders. So she would go out and I would stay home. So people would pick up and people would be delivering at the same time. Okay. So she helped me a lot. But then when my dad opened his corporation, my dad took her from me. I'm kidding. My dad, now she helps my dad, and I have a driver's license now. So now I can manage everything. Okay. So yeah, my mom was a big help at the beginning of Berry Cup.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so you graduate in May, and then you have plans, but you're saying, hey, I don't want to, because I'm not that you don't want to jinx them, but you don't want to like talk before
it happens.
Yeah. That's good. That's a good. You want to like, hey, I have this. Let's make it happen. You don't want to just. You want to show the.
I feel like my customers are getting a vibe of like, okay, she's graduating, like what's gonna happen. But yeah, I do have a lot of plans for Berry Cup in the future. I'm actually figuring things out as we speak, but I'm trying to graduate, get a job first, become a teacher, because I'm studying to be a teacher. Okay. So be a teacher first, and then I feel like everything will fall into place.
Sí.
Nice.
And what kind of teacher do you want to be?
I'm going to be an English teacher, so I'm aiming for middle school.
Okay.
A vender fresas otra vez.
Where it all started.
Middle school, ¿no te da miedo?
Yes, I did actually. I would wake up super early during middle school to sell fresas con crema. I would prepare them in the morning, put them in a duffel bag, así, like stacked, and I would post on Facebook. Yeah, I'm in the band hall.
Pero ahorita no te da miedo de, you're not scared of like, going back to middle school and teaching?
No.
Teenagers.
I don't think. I have a brother who is in middle school, and then I have a brother who's in high school. I just feel like, again, I think communication is key in absolutely everything. I feel like you can genuinely talk to a little kid. They're more capable than what we think.
Yeah.
Okay. They're very capable.
I've been impressed sometimes, because I used to kind of volunteer as it's called Junior Achievement. Have you ever heard of JA? Well, you volunteer. It was like while I was doing my my undergrad in San Antonio at UTSA, and I volunteered to teach little kids about finance,
Oh.
and I did elementary. And man, these kids are smart. You're like, what the heck? Because like they're little kids, you know, and it's like they know, you know, what it means to like save, what it means to, you know, more than what you like expect.
I also feel like I had a really good teacher who took her time teaching how to write, how to understand, how to analyze things, and I feel like if every school had a teacher like that,
They
a
would be
lot of people would enjoy it.
true. Yeah, it depends. It also, because I've had professors that would like I would not understand. I'm like, dude, yeah. Like I had this one professor like talked about statistics. And it was like advanced statistics, and you had to like build stuff on Excel, and it was like, dude, I don't understand anything you're saying. And it's like they just hand you the book, and you're like, you know, they started asking you questions about the book, and you're like, dude, I don't even know what that meant. Like, so yeah, it is true. Well, congrats on that, and we're wishing you nothing but the best.
Thank you.
I want to thank you for coming to What the Peg, and we're also just, I mean, you've grown a lot, but we're starting off this year. Well, it's already been a few months already, but we're also kind of just spreading the good word about, you know, what it is to be sustainable, or what it is to help your community and support the community. So thank you so much for coming
thank
on.
you so much for having me. You guys are awesome.
Thanks. Well, next time we see each other, it's gonna be with some
Fresas,
berries,
yes.
some berries and cream, and then also, besides the berries and cream, you have
I have
Flor-
chocolate covered strawberries, floral. I offer party packages, apples. Yeah, I have
Okay.
a lot of variety for
Nice.
now.
And where can I find like how to order and stuff?
Oh, it's on Instagram or Facebook at
Okay.
berrycup. Yeah, website on it. No, berry.cup _ on Facebook and Instagram.
So you just message and you say, hey, I wanna.
Yeah,
I want-
and we'll go ahead and send you our menu, our policies, and then we can take it from there.
Okay.
Nice.
Cool. Well, again, congrats, Katie
Thank
from
you.
Berry Cup, from coming over to What the Peg, and giving us an opportunity to, you know, learn about you and what you're doing and what the future holds for Berry Cup. And thank you, Sophie. Thank you, Rafita. Thank you at home, everybody at home that joined us today. It was exciting to have Berry Cup and, you know, learning a little bit about, you know, how she's involved in the Laredo community and what the future holds for Katie. And thank you for always, you know, watching us and, you know, helping us grow. And yeah, stay tuned for more What the Peg. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Laters.